With bicycle trade shows being canceled all over the globe, Taipei International, Outdoor Retailer, the London Bike Show, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the bicycle industry has ground to a halt. But you would be wrong. Innovators are still innovating, designers still designing, prototypes still being prototyped. So we decided to reach out to some of the biggest companies all around the globe and ask them to send us their cool gravel tech. But what could be better than literally having the trade show in your backyard? All right, Specialized Diverge, Cannondale Lefty, Loft suspension forks are all things that you might see at your local gravel race if you showed up with regards to gravel and suspension. But one name that you might not recognize is SUNTOUR. SUNTOUR drops their all-new GVX suspension fork in a couple of months, and it's an all-new, completely designed for gravel suspension fork that's gonna hit the market real soon. Now, SUNTOUR isn't a name that you necessarily associate with gravel, but they're one of the world's largest manufacturers of bicycle forks, primarily for leisure and recreational cycling world. But the development of this fork, however, means that we're going to be likely seeing a lot more squish in a gravel event near you real soon. It's important to remember that this fork was specifically built for gravel. It wasn't retrofitted from another fork or from a mountain bike design. It's been designed around gravel specifically for this task. So the GVX fork is air sprung, comes with variable travel adjustments. It also can take up to 45C on a 700C wheel set, up to 50C on a 650B wheel set. It's got all the latest and greatest in technology. It's got through axles, flat mount braking, and it's got this cool little fender right up here. When it gets muddy out, you'll be covered. So Hunt brings this gravel specific wheel set to market. Now this wheel set's 35 wide, 30 deep, and it's got a 23mm internal. Now the rims are unidirectional T2430 carbon fiber with a 3K weave in reinforced carbon fiber spoke holes. Now Hunt uses their 4-season disc center lock hubs, 6-pawl free hub, as well as it takes a standard or XD driver. They currently weigh 1,548 grams. The bearings on these wheels are from manufacturer Ezo, and the wheels are rated for riders up to 250 pounds. Now the Gravel X-Wide wheels have been designed specifically for the wildest of gravel adventures. They are purposely built for bigger gravel tires, so don't expect to ride these on your 25C road tires. You can purchase a slew of different options, from tires to hubs to all of the different bits that you would need to basically have a plug-and-play experience directly when these ship to your house. Hunt ships directly to consumers. They don't have to go through a bike shop, so you can spec exactly what you want when you order on their website, and they're ready to rock as soon as they show up at your place. All right, so the PANARACER crew sent us out a ton of new tires. Back in 2014, the small Japanese brand had their original Gravel King tires. Now you guys would remember those tires. They were first in the market. PANARACER took a real interest in the gravel market, and they became a big player. Lots of people love the Gravel Kings and swear by it as the only tire that they'll ever ride. Some cool history on PANARACER. They were Japan's only tube and tire manufacturer, still in existence today, and they are the only, bar none, bicycle tire manufacturer in Japan today. Now they come out with several tires since the original Gravel King. The Gravel King SK, the Gravel King SS though is what I have right here. And this tire is very unique. Now it takes some of the best features of the Gravel King SK and it ties them into the original Gravel King. So basically this new Gravel King SS is a culmination of all the things that they've learned from their other tires, and they've brought them into this to create a super fast tire that has what they call 3 different areas that they like to focus on. These side lines that go around it give some additional traction on the outside. Then when you move into closer towards the center, they've got a bit of a file tread going on here. And then when you're right down the middle, you've got that traditional Gravel King kind of crisscross lines look going on through there. So super fast through the middle. Then when you're transitioning from side to side, it's got a little bit of a corner so that you don't just fall straight off the side. You get a little bit more cornering knob, something that you see from other tire manufacturers for sure, but definitely something new for PANARACER. Now PANARACER is also also has their new Plus casing, which is across their entire line of tires. They have several different tires, like I said before, but these tires using the Plus casing, this is this tan sidewall, they say that this is about 2.5 times more sturdy than a traditional Kevlar bead. They say for races like Dirty Kansas, or something that's gonna have a lot of nasty shale, rock, gravel, something that's gonna potentially cut your sidewall, you'd really want to have something like the Plus casing. That way you can cut down on any untimely flats that you might want. They also said that this tire is going to be shipping very soon, so look for it in the shelves and on stores real soon. Okay, so next up we've got the 3T EXPLORO Race Max. Now, if you guys want to see the detailed first look, head over to the GCN Tech channel to check that out. But if you want a quick overview, massive new 75mm down tube is one of the first things that you notice when you look at this EXPLORO Race Max. They tell us that this is to protect the water bottle from any wind or any deflection, so all in the name of aero. Now, they've also narrowed up the head tube here as well. They've increased the tire clearance up to 61mm on a 1x650 setup. They support 1x and 2x. They, of course, still support 650 and 700 C wheels. They've made a fixed rear derailleur hanger mount here, as well as updated the seat post clamp here. Now, for the wheels, these are the all-new 3T Discus 45 wheel set built up with carbon tie hubs. Now, the biggest new talking point on these wheels is their massive internal rim width, 29mm. And this is really to support the bigger and bigger tires that we're starting to see on gravel bikes every single year. 3T has done a really interesting thing with extensive testing in two new phrases called WHAM and RAM, weight radius as measured and width as measured, to truly put an end to the tire size debate. But basically, by going with this massive internal rim width, they've been able to eliminate that bubble that you get by putting a big tire on a small rim. 3T tells us that they find this to be not only more stable, but more aero as well. So more aero gains for the EXPLORO here. That's the quick look. Let's keep it moving. Other stuff that we got sent out to us are these lights from company Light in Motion. This that I'm holding here in my hand is the TAZ, T-A-Z 1500. And on this helmet here, this helmet mounted light, this is called the Viz Pro 360. Both these lights, if you were planning on going to Dirty Kansas this year, would have been on full display and potentially being used quite a bit, especially because you start in the dark and then depending on how fast you are, you might also finish in the dark. All right, so let's first talk about the TAZ 1500, which is the bar mount light that Light in Motion sent out to us. First off, it's 1500 lumens. They do make one step higher at 2000 lumens, but this one at 1500 is plenty bright. It's super bright. In fact, I was holding it before and I got it in my eyes and I couldn't see anything. So one of the cool things about all the Light in Motion lights that they told us is that there's a lot of accidents and problems that happen from the side when you're cycling. So what they've done is they've integrated these lights here on the side of this to be able to allow for side markers to go out. So when you have this on your bars, lights actually come out of the side to indicate that someone from the side would be able to see you. Also in the front, of course, run time for that, 90 minutes on its highest setting, then it goes up to 180 on that medium setting, and then it goes down to 360 minutes on the lowest setting. So moving over to the Light in Motion Viz Pro 360 degree helmet mount. This one, 600 lumens on its highest setting, runtime of 2 hours. It steps down from there to 300 lumens with a runtime of 4 hours, and then it goes down to 150 lumens and it has 8 hours of runtime. Again, you'll get those side indicators that you can see here. You get that big front light, and on this one, you get that rear light. So anybody from any angle is going to be able to see you with this helmet mounted light that they have here. Okay, so the last details on the Light in Motion lights, they use a micro USB to charge up, and they have an IP rating of 67. So you can drop them into a little bit of a puddle or into a river, don't have to freak out. You can also ride with them in rain and nasty conditions, and also you don't have to lose your shirt on buying a new one. They also are able to be dropped from 1 meter, and they do not have any problems. They're able to take the impact as they've been rated for that. So that's what I've got from Light in Motion. Let's move on to the next booth. Okay, so another accessory that we have here are Rudy Project's all new cut-line sunglasses. And these are unique for a bunch of different reasons. But to start off, they have completely moldable ear bands here. So if you like them really tight to go around the back of your head, you're able to mold them like that. If you like them really straight, then you're able to just match just like that to have them go straight on, no gripper, nothing like that. Same goes for the nose piece. If you've got a big snout, little snout, big bridge, whatever, you're able to completely mold the nose piece on these to get a customized fit there as well. Another cool feature that I think really pertains to gravel is being able to switch out the lenses on these. You can see here on the inside, they've got this cool little button that allows these to pop off, these arms. So you're able to switch lenses out super quick. If you've got a nice sunny day like I have here today, you've got that dark lens in, and then all of a sudden, you're at that preseason gravel race, and the wind and the rain comes in and you need a clear lens, boom, push that button, switch that lens out super quick. Couldn't take more than 5 seconds to be able to get a different lens into these cut lines. Another cool feature that these have is the ability to take these bumpers on and off, up top and down below. So when you've got the bumpers on like this, it gives you more of that warrior look where you're really encapsulated, and these bumpers touch the bottom of my cheekbones here to really get me protected so nothing can come up underneath my face. But you're able to take those off if you want to have a different look, or if you want more airflow, because these are all vented out. So if you were going to do a race that had a lot of like steep climbs or mist in the air, and you really wanted to get that that extra airflow going in there and a little bit more breeze up underneath the lens to make sure that they didn't fog up, definitely would run these without the bumpers. So 2 different looks there. And lastly, Rudy Project tells us that these are completely RXable. So if you do wear prescription sunglasses or prescription reading glasses or whatever you race with, you can send that over to Rudy and get a completely customized pair of shades. All right, so we've got some new products to show off here from company FIDLOCK. If you guys saw last year, Simon Richardson used these when he was out in Idaho riding in Rebecca Rush's big gravel ride. These are the water bottles that click in and out. Basically, just like a clipless pedal, you do a twist of it and then it comes out. This part mounts to the frame where a regular water bottle cage would be mounted. These though sit flush. Now the bottles come in many different sizes, small, medium, large. They have a new bottle here which has like a what they're calling like some type of mud cap. Essentially, if you're going out and you're gonna do a nasty gravel ride and you don't wanna worry about getting Giardia or some other bacteria or parasite or something, well then you can use their bottle that has this new cap on it. They also have another product coming out called the Push, which is a saddle bag that uses that same magnetic technology. Clicks in, then it's a button right here that you push and it releases it. I can see that being useful in a couple of different racing applications. When you need to be on the fly and really quick, you'd want to be able to just put it back up behind the saddle, have it clip in, and off you'd go. Then they've got these satellite mounts that are now out. These are unique because let's say you've got an older gravel bike and you only have 2 water bottle mount cages, but you're gonna do a huge ride and you really wanna be able to have a big 3rd water bottle. Well, look no further than this. This is the satellite mount. It could go on a C-post, it could go on the top of the frame, it could really go anywhere, but basically anywhere that these long straps will go around, it'll fit. Now, one of the last pieces that they sent out to us is this dry bag. So this bag is good up to 100 feet underwater. Sand, dirt, mud, grime, any valuables that you have, you stuff in here. The magnets close it up, stick it in your back pocket, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about your valuables getting damaged. If you're gonna be doing a big gravel ride, you have no idea what kind of crazy weather you're gonna come into, a dry bag would be something cool to definitely have in your back pocket. All right, so let's make our way over to the BMC Urse. Now this bike was launched last year in the EU and is now finally in the United States, and BMC fans are real excited about it. Urse stands for unrestricted, which suggests to us that BMC made this bike for the rough stuff. So when you first look at the Urse, one of the things that you'll notice is that it has a big elastomer right here in the rear triangle. BMC calls this MTT, which stands for Micro Travel Technology, and it gives the bike about 10 millimeters of flexion. There's no different joints or suspension actually on the bike, but through this elastomer system, the carbon is able to move enough to give you more compliance when you're out there. You add in the D-shaped seat post and tires up to 45 millimeters, and you'll have an even softer ride out there. So moving up front, we've got the slack 70-degree head angle, which creates that long and stable feel. Then we've got a very neat and tidy cockpit right here. BMC has been able to integrate the cables directly into this bike without making it look super crazy. Now BMC has several different spec options, I believe 4 to be exact. So you can pick out what style you want, what preferences you like in your componentry, but this is the BMC Urse. Okay, so we have here Rotor's 1x13 hydraulic group set. This is the world's first 13-speed group set, and let's start by saying it is very unique. No batteries, no old school steel shifting cables, no front derailleurs. There's a lot of engineering and simplicity with this group set, so let's dig in. Okay, so there's a ton to talk through with this Rotor 1x13 hydraulic group set, but we're gonna start here at the rear derailleur where all the magic happens. Now, if you think about a traditional rear derailleur on like Shimano, Campy, SRAM, any of those, all of the indexing happens up in the front at the lever, like how much throw it takes to be able to pull so much amount of cable to have the derailleur stay in one place. There's no clicking in the rear derailleur happening. But on this hydraulic group set from Rotor, all of the indexing happens in the rear derailleur. So what the front is actually doing is just sending hydraulic fluid down to the derailleur, and then the click is actually happening here in the rear derailleur, making it very unique and completely different from the other component brands. Now, like a lot of other 1x derailleurs, this does share some similarities, and that is in the clutch here, which keeps tension on the chain. Now, this is what a lot of 1x systems use so that the chain doesn't fly off. The derailleur keeps the tension on the chain to make sure that when you're going over undulating terrain, like you see often in gravel races, you're gonna have a lot of tension on the chain. It also has a button here that releases this pulley, so if you have to take the wheel in or out, or you need to pull it down, and then it also has this button here, which is cool. It's called origin mode. Basically what that does is it clears all of the index shifting and allows the derailleur to just go all the way down to its lowest cog so that you can get the wheel in or out if you need to do a wheel change for any reason. If you look up at the front shifter paddle there, you can see it's very similar to SRAM's double tap. 2 clicks to go up, 1 click to go down. Let's chat about the gear ratios on this. 1052 is the biggest cassette that you can get on this, a 1036 the smallest. You can run the system as 12 or 13 speed, and Rotor specs KMC's 12-speed chains for both applications. Rotor told us that they're particularly proud of their braking system on this. It was designed with manufacturer Magura, and they say that it's simple to set up, has excellent modulation, braking power, and super reliable. So that is a quick look at Rotor's 1x13 hydraulic group set. I'm here with the VIATHON G1 now. This bike with the black matte paint in the copper tones on it. It's got dropped seat stays on the frame. It's also got asymmetrical chain stays down low to accommodate tires up to 51 millimeters. It's got internal cable routing, a threaded bottom bracket. It's also got different mounts all over the bike for different panniers and racking systems. It's got 3 areas to mount bottles so that you can go out and do some big rides and not have to stop. It also has flat mount technology both on the front and rear, so you get the latest and greatest in disc brake technology as well. You guys know I couldn't miss an opportunity to take this stuff out on my local trails. I mean, I just had it all hanging out in my backyard, right? I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I certainly did making it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all real soon, hopefully at an actual trade show.